I'm Chris Schwartz, and we farm about 10 acres of strawberries, black raspberries. We do those wholesale, retail, and pick your own. We have a high tunnel that we grow tomatoes and zucchini in. And then we also have about an acre of sweet corn and some pumpkins and fall ornamentals. At one point, we had a dairy farm. We were on a rented situation, and that didn't last very long. We moved here about 12 years ago. With the acreage that we had, we thought we would get into strawberries and some black raspberries, figuring that was a specialty market we could start out in. And we've just kind of worked with other markets, and we don't really have a farm stand here that we, because of our location and the number of markets in the area, we don't do anything year-round. It's nice because it's not like a dairy farm every day, year-round. With Larry's traveling schedule, it's very sporadic, so it's something that I can manage while he's away. I mean, he has a full-time job, so this is pretty much what I do here. It allows me to be home with the children in the summer, and it also helps them learn how to work. When strawberries and black raspberries hit, it is fast and furious and very demanding. There's not a lot of extra time during those seasons. Of course, when the harvest stops, so does the income at the end of the fall. So it's not something that we can rely on year-round. For us, the challenge right now is it's almost too much for me to handle by myself, but it's not enough to hire someone to help. When we first started, we didn't have any crop insurance, and then we learned about the NAP program through FSA. That worked out well. We could cover our major crops. The other things that we grew weren't very much acreage or weren't as big a part of our operation. So we worked with NAP for several years. The problem was that you had to have pretty much a total disaster for there to be any type of payment. And the amount of the payment really didn't even cover your input costs. It was just something that was a nice little thing you could rely on, but it wasn't enough to really make much of a difference. When they came out and said in order to be qualified for government programs, you had to have everything insured. So we went with the AGR Lite program to cover the income portion. Still not, we're still looking forward to them tweaking the program so that it'll work a little better for us, but satisfied so far. The record keeping for AGR Lite is not that challenging. It's just your basic financials, which you do no matter what. And the yield data it's no different. I'm glad I have it. It encourages, to me, it's kind of like a reporting system, and it just encourages me to make sure that I'm keeping accurate records. Pros and cons of AGR Lite: the protection, like I said, of our income, knowing that we're still able to qualify for federal disaster programs. It's one policy that covers all of our crops, especially since we've got such small acreage of many smaller crops and then large acres of other individual crops. Just having one blanket policy makes it a lot easier. If we were a bigger grower, I might consider staying with NAP, but just for our small acreage, it's hard to justify. Mm-hmm. When we figure out what we're going to grow each year, we'll contact the major markets that we supply. We'll communicate back and forth over the winter months to find out what they're planning to do, so we know how we should adjust on our end. Other markets that we've picked up, we'll just say, hey, have you ever thought about growing that? So it's just communicating with the markets, also getting an idea of what's becoming more popular or less popular. Being able to adjust what we grow is essential for our business to be able to provide for the local market. We get a lot of money invested in the specialty crops, and so for peace of mind with the AGR Lite, it just helps to cover our income to make sure that if we have a big loss, it'll cover our income. I guess you could say we have four major crops. We have the strawberries, black raspberries, pumpkins, I'll classify, and then the high tunnel tomatoes. And if we were to lose, especially the strawberries and raspberries, that's just a huge portion of what our total income is. We have the most investment in the pumpkins, and so if we lose a pumpkin crop, we've lost all that input money. The biggest lessons, and the one that I keep saying, is make sure you have a relationship built with your customers. If it's someone that you only see in strawberry season, or someone that like one of the markets we work with throughout the whole growing season, make sure you have a good relationship there, because a lot of people buy on relationship now. if you start losing little relationships, it's going to affect your business. And if people enjoy working with you, they're going to tell other people, and they're going to keep coming back year after year. What we hear every year is that people just can't wait for the local strawberries to start because of the better flavor. And we have some people that come here every 2-3 days and will pick enough just to last for a couple days because they just enjoy the freshness. We're fortunate to live in this area where we've got a large population around us, one that appreciates the local produce. For us, having local markets is really nice. The consumers really appreciate being able to come out and pick things. They could go to a market and buy the local produce, but a lot of people just enjoy coming out and physically picking it themselves. I enjoy working outside. In strawberry and raspberry season, when it's so hectic, I sometimes wonder why I put myself through it, but there's just the self-satisfaction, the pleasure of kind of being your own boss, of watching things grow. Feels like I'm maybe serving in an area. People need something. My personality is I'm a people pleaser, and so to me it feels good to be able to grow something that people appreciate.